Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad and believers in the Messiah. Welcome, everybody. Hi, guys. I'm Dave Sain, Senior Shepherd here at Living Manna, LMC. It is Shabbat Eve for us, and of course, a happy and peaceful rest to everybody. Of course, Friday night for us means it's time for Hidden Manna. Been looking forward to this all week. Crazy stuff going on. Just a conversation between some brothers that are just talking about stuff that's happening. We do some Bible stuff, some Bible study, try to get into the Word as deep as we can, and hopefully shares a little bit of truth with you. Of course, to do this, I don't do it by myself. You guys can see Brother Max is with us tonight, man. Shabbat Shalom, bro.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Shabbat Shalom. Good to be here.
I missed you, man.
2 weeks. Missed you.
Yeah, I missed you.
Missed you. We had long tabernacles. We got together with a lot of people. I was just sharing with PD right before we went on. I am exhausted. Every night sitting around fires and
tabernacles took it out of you, huh?
Yeah. Plus, we were going around to different people's houses and
well, that's cool.
Staying out late, getting up early, and then in between getting ready for the weekly Sabbaths, and it was fun. It really was fun, man. So
and you know what? It really does take some effort on our part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to go ahead and memorialize and celebrate the feast. It's at first it's not easy because it changes the whatever schedule that you normally have.
Get you out of that routine, right?
And we're so used to in the secular sort of quasi religious world that we live in. You know, if we have a holiday, it's like a day.
Yeah.
Right. Or I guess
that's why, or the eve before, right? Like Christmas, you'd have Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day.
Right. Yeah. Or I guess maybe from a secular, maybe you get a long weekend, right? Maybe you get a 3-day weekend, but you don't really do anything for that. There's no planning. But for the feast, there's planning, there's effort, there's things you got to do.
Yeah.
And
you realize why y'all want you got to plan it because you got to save, man. It gets expensive, man.
Yeah, you have to plan.
Right? Feeding people every day and sharing and potlucks and just supplying wood and, you definitely got to, it's not a thing you just do, on the whim.
Yeah. No, you can't wing it. Tabernacles is not something you can wing. And of course, we're not going to Jerusalem. Could you imagine if we had to do that?
Right? Isn't that crazy?
We all had to, make that trip and take that flight and take the boat or whatever it was.
Yep.
And one day, one day, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep, definitely.
But even scattered amongst Babylon here, where we may not be celebrating it according to the ceremonial instruction. But we are memorializing it. We're remembering it, but it still takes effort. It still takes effort to do. But and yet it's good. It really is good.
We actually met a lady, who's really new to everything. I think she's only been trying to be Torah observant for not even a full month, and I think she went to like 4 or 5 of the get-togethers. She's hungry. Good. So we're going to have her over in a couple of weeks for a study and just, try to answer any questions, whatever we can, right, to help.
Good for her.
And before I forget, Wednesday, the 22nd, my daughter is turning 15 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So happy birthday to my beautiful girl, Olivia.
Birthday, Olivia. That is awesome.
Yeah, she's a blessing from Yah.
Oh, man, I feel so
in case you don't think old. I think that you are, sweetie, I love you. So I know she's watching. She watches upstairs. So
I feel so old, man.
Oh, I know, right?
So old.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And then
that's good. Good for her.
Yep, good for her, right? So, but that's all my. Other than that, like I said, we've. If you notice, I have a hoodie on. I think today only hit a high of 40, and then at night it's been going. We actually had 2 frost warnings that were in the 20s already this week, and I know Brother Paul out there in Idaho had a snow warning. I don't know if he got any.
Oh my goodness! How do you guys live? I mean, it's cool here, but it's nice. It's nice fall weather. It's like 50s in the morning, gets up to 60 something.
Yeah,
in the
that's
late
my
afternoon.
favorite time of the year. Yeah.
Oh no, I love this time.
Yeah.
If we can find, my prayer, my hope to Yah is that in the kingdom, the only two seasons we have is spring and fall. just,
That's all you need just for the Moed, right?
Yeah, just
Right
spring.
before
Right.
Passover,
What? Yeah. What else do we need?
Yeah, that'd
All
be
we
funny.
need is the first month and the seventh month. That's it. And
That'd
then
be
we just go
fun.
back to the first month.
Going back. I tell you, man, we were talking about that, how Yah has everything centered around food and right. He wants his people to rejoice. He's not
well, yeah, Tabernacles is very different from the other feast. And yet, so we had two services. We had our service in the beginning of the Tabernacle celebration, which was awesome. A lot of people came out. We had a great service time, great worship and praise. It was phenomenal. Then we had a prayer service this past Wednesday. Again, just a good time in Yah. We absolutely enjoyed it. I forgot what I was saying, but it like I said, it does take some effort. It does put you out of whatever your normal schedule is.
And then you got to do with diet after Tabernacles,
yeah,
right? Because everyone, I tried to, get past, what we were eating by just eating one day, one meal a day, OMADing, which was helpful, but I tell you, you're supposed to eat within a 1 hour window. It didn't. It was like a 5 hour window where you just ate. But
I know.
Turn down.
I know. There's all sorts of people within the movement and stuff. They have also, don't do Thanksgiving and all the rest of that. I'm like, and I'm not really a turkey guy. I'm not. I'm like a roasted chicken guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're funny. You do chicken on Thanksgiving.
I don't know what it is. I just got to a certain age. I'm like, man, I just can't eat turkey unless it's like cold cuts, which aren't really
like
even
a sandwich.
meat.
Yeah, I got you.
But that's not even meat. That's just like compressed, fake stuff. But we're talking about diets. Yeah, so so you go off of the fall feast. Next thing you know, you're making apple pies and apple crisps and desserts because the whole pumpkin pie. And so as far as diets go, we'll deal with that in December sometime.
Yeah. So, but it was worth it, man. We had some good fellowship, and a lot of people say hello to you and to LMC out there. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. We love you guys. We prayed for you guys at our last prayer service, for all of our LMC family everywhere. Wherever you guys are watching from, we lifted you guys up. We prayed for you, all your particular and individual circumstances, and we pray that we bless you and that you guys take what we're doing and you send it out to other people, and you're able to minister and share. And so we really wanted to, and we couldn't really, because of the way the service was conducted, we couldn't really do it live or on stream or live stream it, but we were there with you guys in heart for sure. Hopefully everybody had a great fall festival season. But now we're getting ready to buckle down again. We've got a sort of a new Torah portion season coming up for us. We're going to start doing the Torah portions starting this particular week. Breshit, of course, starts this week. Starts tonight, really, or tomorrow. We'll be talking about it.
Yeah.
And during morning mannas, what we're going to do is we're going to be reading the Torah portion, at least part of the Torah portion, on our Shabbat readings, and then I'm going to probably do a message tomorrow about Breshit. I'm not going to do it every week about the Torah portion, but tomorrow we'll probably do that. But morning manna throughout the week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take apart the Torah portion and do maybe 1 or 2 days on the Torah part of it, maybe a day or two on the prophets part of it, and then maybe a day or so on the gospel account of it. So we'll be able to, hopefully, my prayer is that everybody, because we've all seen like those little, ever get those little things, read the Bible in a year type thing. You get, well, that's really what the Torah portions are. Read the entire Torah hopefully that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
And week after week. So not just what we do in morning manna, not just what we do on Shabbat, but we're going to try to encourage everybody, take the time to make that Torah portion you're reading, the entire thing, the whole Torah part of it, the whole prophets part of it, and the whole New Testament part of it, and see how it all kind of molds together.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll do that for the next 52 weeks.
And if you got kids like right now, we were waiting for this cycle because Josiah is 5, right? He'll be 6 in February. So he's really, he comprehends a lot.
That's good.
So we're going to start that with him, right? Because, hearing, faith comes by hearing the word, right? So it'll be fun to be able to do that reading and have him involved in it, because we
Yeah.
wanted to make, every year we wanted to do it, but it's like realistically he's running around playing with his cars, but now he can actually play and in the room and listen, and he interjects.
You
So
know
it'd be
what?
cool to be able to do that. So I encourage any families out
Yeah.
there. And you know what's so cool? We haven't done it for a while, right? Because I think you even said it yourself out of your own. There's great teachers out there who go over the Torah portions, but you know what? When you go through it, every time, right, you always see something you didn't see before,
Oh,
too.
of course.
Right?
Course.
So awesome. So I highly encourage that. It's
And
nice time with the family.
You know how we do things. We're
Yeah.
not just going to read the Torah portion like we're just a regular,
Just
synagogue.
Yeah.
We're going to read the Torah portion. We're going to find Messiah in it.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of the Torah, at least from my perspective. So hopefully it'll be interesting for everybody, and informative and instructive, but also devotional as we go through the week. So we're looking forward to it. Got some neat stuff coming up. If I'm saying if, I'm just sort of, being politically correct there. If the calendar of the Dead Sea Scrolls is right, and I mean, it's pretty incredible. The whole story is rather incredible. We've spent I don't know how long talking about it. This upcoming springtime would begin the last Jubilee, or the last 50 years. This year would be a Jubilee. And then this upcoming year would be the first year of a new another cycle of 50 at the end of the age, which is kind of incredible. I mean, listen, we'll find out. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make the whole 50, but I mean, which would be cool. I would only be 108.
108, yeah.
108. That's doable, right? So long as I'm in my right mind. I wouldn't mind.
That sandwich I saw you eating before, I don't know.
I know. I was eating a chicken cutlet parm.
It looked good. I was just jealous.
That was good. No, that was good.
I was drinking a water, and I'm like, he's eating a nice sandwich.
Friday nights is like, before the sun goes, before the eve comes up.
Everyone knows, man, trying to get it all ready.
Yeah, it's so hard because we're trying to cook for the next day. We're picking up, grandkids and just getting all this stuff done. So we just order out,
bro. I'm just
before before it begins. But it's normally my chicken parm night.
Yep. And then you don't want to wait till after. Then it's too late. You don't want to be eating at 9 o'clock at night, right? So I didn't blame you. I was just jealous. I was coveting your chicken cutlet parmesan.
It was good. It was good. So, oh my goodness, has this been a prophetic week or what?
Yeah.
This has been a crazy, crazy week. I don't even know where to begin, because when I was watching, I'm sure everybody was. We were watching what was going on with the president and the peace deal that came out of the Gaza, even the Gaza war. And we just don't have time to go through all these prophecies. But there's prophecy about Gaza, about what goes on in Gaza, and things that need to go on before the Messiah comes, and they seem to be happening, right in front of us. But as I'm watching this, what was it, Monday? Was it Monday that they did it?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
I'm just going to assume Monday, early in this week. So I'm watching it, and of course, the whole peace deal's made, and you got President Trump speaking at the Knesset, and I mean they're just loving it. All wearing the red hats. And then when he goes to Egypt, and you've got what it was like 25, 30 Islamic nations, or Islamic nations and other nations that are there, and that big thing. I'm gonna show some pictures tomorrow, but that big thing, it says peace 2025. There's one part of me that was like, man, I'm glad they got the hostages back. I'm glad that the destruction of Gaza is over. It was brutal. There's no doubt it was brutal. I understand. I get it. It's war. It boggles my mind, because this is a spiritual thing, and maybe it's going to be people that are not going to agree with me. It's going to be people that agree with me, but it boggles my mind we have had, and I don't even know what the exact numbers are. I'm just going to throw some numbers out there. If I'm incorrect, you guys can go back and check it. But something like 200,000 people killed in Yemen, something like a 500,000 people that were murdered in Syria, by the regime there. How many? A million or so in Iraq. How many in Afghanistan?
Yeah.
How many did Saddam Hussein, kill in Iraq and Kurdistan? And I mean, how many did ISIS kill when they were killing the when ISIS was rampaging through the Middle East under the Obama? How many thousands and tens of thousands of people did they kill and they put into slavery? And nobody cared.
Oh no, nope.
The war that was going on with Armenia and Azerbaijan for decades. How many tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of people have been killed? Nobody cared.
Nope.
How many people were killed in the Congo and the 30 years of war, butchering each other?
Yeah.
Nobody protested.
Narrative, right?
Nobody protested. Nobody cared. Wasn't on the news. They weren't closing down colleges. They weren't doing any of that stuff. And all of a sudden, all the focus is on Israel. And I'm fine with that, because I mean, I was watching the videos too. I was appalled too. I saw the pictures of Gaza. I'm like, oh my goodness, they're turning Gaza into a parking lot.
Yeah, rubble.
My heart broke for them. But by the same token, there's in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why can't we have that same standard?
Yeah,
for everybody.
Exactly.
Why is that standard only applied to what's going on in the middle, to what's going on with Israel? If it was applied everywhere, I'd be like, okay, then this is fair.
Yep.
So then the question is, why is it applied differently to this? Why is every university and cities all over, not just America, all over the world, crying out from the river to the sea?
Yep.
Because there's something else going on here. This is bigger. This is prophecy that we are watching unfold right in front of us. And that's just it. It's happening right in front of us. And I'm not making this a defense for Israel. I'm not. I understand they have to protect their people. I understand. I was watching videos this week of the people coming back to Gaza. Of course, you're not going to get this on YouTube. You got to go to Instagram. You got to go to X and
Rumble.
Rumble. Yeah. Some of the videos were just, my heart broke for the Palestinian people, because they're coming out. Finally Israel backs off on them, and so what does Hamas start doing? It may sound like I'm laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm exasperating. They start shooting people in the street. Start rounding up all their enemies and people that they thought were collaborating, or people that were hoarding food, or people that were against them, and they just start shooting them. And then video after video after video after video of people who just got out of whatever detention they were in Israel, whatever prison camp, and they're going back, and people coming out of the caves and stuff. And a video after video of saying, we're going to do another October 7th. Death to Israel, death to America. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You have an opportunity here to change things. And so I mean, I hope that the peace deal stands. I really do. So there's that part of it, which I think is good. The other part of it is I'm watching this, and there's a part of me saying, 1 Thessalonians 5 is like going off in the back of my head.
Peace.
Yeah. When they say peace, then sudden destruction comes. And so I'm watching this, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, are we watching prophecy happen?
Yeah.
Right in front of us?
But like you said, at the same token, right? Blessed are the peacemakers. I want to
Yeah,
see,
no, yeah,
I
no,
want to see peace. Yeah,
I'm for it.
yeah.
Kudos to Trump and his administration for what they're
He
doing.
even got I think a little snippet out of Schumer, right? That he gave him a little bit of accolade. Clinton too.
Yeah,
The Clintons, they gotta,
yeah, you
how
had
can you
some.
not?
Yeah,
How can you not?
everybody who might be indicted
Yeah, yeah,
gave him some sort
yeah,
of credit,
yeah.
but all the other people.
I didn't think Schumer would though, because I love how Trump calls it the Schumer shutdown.
Oh yeah,
Right?
that's
It's just that's
another
another crazy thing going on, right?
thing, and we lift up all those brethren who are affected by that are
Yeah,
working
yeah.
for the government, and
Soldiers
we
and
soldiers and TSA agents and
mhm,
FBI and all of them. We
mhm.
pray that this thing ends soon, but that's a whole other issue.
Well, it's like I saw a video a couple of years ago, because you know how it is every year. It's the same thing. They just kick the can down the road. But he said, you want to see Congress and the Senate get together, stop their paychecks during the government shutdown.
Honestly, just like term limits. I know this
Mhm,
wasn't really our topic for tonight, but here we
mhm.
are. We're talking about it.
Just
Hopefully,
conversation.
you
Yeah,
guys don't mind.
yeah.
But my personal opinion on this is I don't care which group does it. I don't care if it's the
Mhm,
right. I don't care if it's the left. In this particular case, it's the left that's doing it. But
mhm,
I don't care if the government shut down. I think they should lose a month's pay,
mhm.
a month's pay for
Yeah,
every day
yeah.
that it
Hey,
shut down.
they're not doing the job, right? They get
I think that so they got I think they should make a rule like that.
mhm,
At least a couple of weeks pay. But I'm saying let's just round
mhm.
out they lose 1 month's pay
Yeah, yeah,
for every day
yep,
that it doesn't open, and all these
yeah.
people that have to deal
If
with
you're
all of the.
expecting other government employees to be working without pay, and who most of them are living paycheck to paycheck, right? And these what do they make? Average salary over 300,000, right? A year, plus whoever knows from lobbyists and whatever else. We're not gonna stocks and inside trading and whatever. They need to be held accountable too, right?
Yeah, I'm listen, you can't run a business like that.
Mm-hmm.
You run a business like that, you're belly up. You're fired.
Yep. Yep.
So, but
No
that's
pun.
I
You're
know.
fired.
You're fired. But that's a different totally different topic. We're just touching it. That's not really a
Mhm.
topic for tonight. Actually, the topic for tonight really comes out of Matthew chapter 12. And let me see if I can pop this up here for everybody. This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. This is the Messiah. This is right after Messiah does the healings and stuff. Let me back up just a little bit so you get a little bit of context. Um, verse 22, it says, they brought to him one who was demon possessed, blind and dumb. So which is kind of crazy because what it's kind of doing is it's linking this particular verse, not
Mhm.
in all circumstances, but in this particular verse, it is linking his physical condition, meaning he's blind and he can't speak, he's mute,
Mhm.
as directly related to some sort of spiritual issue. Obviously, a demon possession, which is mind-boggling in and of itself.
Mhm.
And he healed them. So Messiah heals them. So you
Mhm.
got somebody who's blind and somebody who's mute, and all. So whatever is inside of him is removed, and this guy sees and he speaks. You would think
Yeah.
if you saw that, if I
Uh,
saw that,
mhm.
if any one of us saw that,
Yeah.
our first response would be, OMG,
Mhm.
praise Yah,
Yeah.
praise
Yep.
God.
Yep.
This is a miracle
Mhm.
of miracles.
Mhm.
That's a big thing.
Yep.
And of course, it says verse 23, all the crowds were amazed, as they should have been. And they're asking the right question. Is this the son of David?
Mhm.
Meaning, of course, Mashiach, which again, from a Pharisaic perspective, very, very different concept. But be that as it may. But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this one does not cast out demons except by Beelzebub, the ruler of demons. I'm going to do a whole message on this because we're talking actually about Baal here.
Yeah.
This is Baal he's talking about. It's the moon god that he's referring to. But that's we'll do a study on that another day. When you read it in the
everyone
Dead Sea,
got the hint when you right, the moon god. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, the moon god. So, but when you read it in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it's not Beelzebub, it's Belial, but it means the same thing. So literally, they see this phenomenal miracle happen right in front of them. And their hearts are so hard so that not only can they not see the Mashiach, and he's already told us, you're of your father, the devil, you're a liar, you're a murderer, etc., etc., etc. But not only can they not see the Messiah, when they see this thing that should have blown them away, their response to it is that Satan's doing this.
We know, right, at this point, whoever's been watching with the Dead Sea Scrolls, these Pharisees, right, their hearts were so wicked, obviously, right? Their father, Satan. I had this, you would have to imagine there's also a level of jealousy at this point. Like, oh my, it's
I would think so.
Right? It's almost like someone's taking away your customers, right? Right, because at this point, Israel, the Jews are their customers, right? The blind feeding the blind, right? Teaching the blind. But now, right? Oh my goodness, they see, and now they're like, he's doing it through, demons,
There's definitely confirmation of that because later on they're concerned about what happens with Lazarus and with Messiah, that their position, their authority is going to be taken away.
Yeah.
And that people would turn to, yes, Messiah, but also the people represented by Messiah and the things he was doing. Of course, we're talking about the people of the Qumran. But so the very next verse 25 says, and Yeshua or Yahusha knew their thoughts, and he said to them, every kingdom or every reign divided against itself is laid waste, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And he gives us the example of what he's actually saying. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. So his purpose is to destroy. But the principle he's telling us is that if a nation or a kingdom is at odds with itself, if you've got half of a nation thinking and believing one way and half of a nation thinking and believing a different way, there's conflict. There's absolutely no way around the conflict. And he's telling us, so if Satan is casting out demons and he's healing the blind, then Satan's lost it. Why would you do that to your own kingdom? And so his kingdom's not going to stand. And then he goes on to say in verse 47, if I, by Beelzebub, do cast out demons, by who do your sons cast them out? Because of this, they shall be your judges. But if I cast out demons by the spirit of Elohim, then the reign of Elohim is upon you. Of course, this leads into the whole blasphemy of the Holy Spirit that is not recognizing what they should have recognized. That's the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. You see the things of Yah, you see it right in front of you, and you still refuse to believe it. But the thing for tonight is a nation divided against itself cannot stand. And oh my goodness, we are a people. I'm just talking about here in America, but it's not just here in America. It's all over the world, all over the what was once considered the Christian world, the Western world, I guess is maybe a different way of saying it. We are divided against ourselves. Countries,
a universal statement, right, for everything.
Countries are split almost down the middle, if not 60-40, 40-60. And we're watching it here in our own culture. We're watching it happen in our own culture. And of course, you can't really see this on YouTube. I mean, it's on YouTube. There's certain people that report on it, but you got to be careful what you say on YouTube still about certain things. But you go to Instagram, you go to X, and you see some of the stuff that's going on all around the world, in Europe, in England, in France, in Germany. There is and this started years ago. I remember doing a message on this probably, oh my goodness, it had to be, I'd say it's going to be 20 years that we're here. It had to be like 16 years ago, 17 years ago,
Hmm.
when this was just starting, when Germany was opening up its doors and they were taking all of the Syrian refugees out of
Yeah.
Syria because of the war we started,
Mm.
right? Because the war under Obama that was started there. We started taking all of those refugees. They were coming from Libya later on after the whole deal of killing Gaddafi, and just refugees from the entire Middle Eastern world began flooding the West.
Yep.
There was a really neat video that I saw many, many years ago, and I'm going to show a little update on it today, that the birth rate of Europe at the time was something like the average birth rate was like 1.3, 1.4. So for a culture, for a country, a culture to survive, there
Mhm.
has to be a birth rate of it. Like, I don't know how you figure 1.9. Let's say 2 kids per family.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
wondering how they get those two and a
You know,
half.
it is,
Yeah.
they just average it out over the
Yeah. Yeah.
population. So that's why you come up with that number. So
Mhm.
you got to have a birth rate of at least 1.9 to maintain your culture.
Mhm.
So if your birth rate goes down, I think it goes down. I think the thing is, if it goes down below 1.3, basically within a generation or two,
Gone.
you're
Yeah.
gone.
Yep.
Your culture's gone.
Mhm.
Your people are just going to get old and they're going to die off. And whatever young people there still are, they're going to have to marry somebody else somewhere else, and that
Mhm.
particular culture is gone.
Yep.
So rather than, because you think if this was the news, if we were given this news that, listen, if we don't, as a culture, let's just say use America as an American culture, if we don't, if our birth rate is at 1.3, and I'm the president or a senator or whatever, my first thought would be, you know what? We got to start encouraging people to have some babies.
Incentives. Yeah.
We got to give some incentives. We got to give free child care. We've got to, turn taxes over
Give
to,
the bigger child. What is that? During
child
tax.
tax
Yeah. Child
credits.
tax credits.
We got to make sure that we take care of them. We need to make sure that as a culture, we survive and that we
Mhm.
grow and we thrive. But from the globalist perspective, what they did is rather than do that, they saw this as an opportunity to intermix cultures that for the last, I'm just going to use, sort of the last like 2000 years, really the last 14, 1500 years,
Mhm.
have been at each other's throats. That is the Western culture or the
Mhm.
Christian culture and the Islamic culture.
Mhm.
History is just there. Most of the Middle East was Christian
Mhm.
until Islam comes along.
Mhm.
And through Muhammad, Islam conquers Jordan, Syria, Lebanon,
Mhm.
Egypt, parts of Persia, Turkey. Where do you think the 7 letters of the 7 churches are written?
Yeah.
To Turkey.
Mhm.
They all become Islamic because
Yeah.
they're conquered. And they
Mhm.
tried to move into Europe. They moved into Spain. They tried to get into France. And the Crusades pushed them back. The Europeans pushed them back. They fought back. So for 1400 years, there is this conflict between them because one culture it is their religious duty
Mm.
to spread their faith through the sword and to conquer and overcome the infidel, to
Mhm.
conquer and overcome the demi, and to rule the world, to make Sharia the big Islam, the faith of the world, and they've been held back. And now in this century, we have invited them
Mm.
in as a remedy to a declining birth rate,
Mhm.
thinking,
Mhm.
oh, Germany's thought was we can just take all these people, bring them in, they're going to be our
Yep.
workers, and they'll become part of Germany and they'll integrate. And what we're finding out is over the last 20 years, and I said this 17 years ago,
Mhm.
they're not going to integrate.
Nope. Oh no, they don't assimilate. No.
They're not going to assimilate. This is not this. America is very, very unique in how we start. It's
Mhm.
very, very unique. And actually, if you take time to read both the Constitution, the Declaration, the Constitution of the states prior to signing the Declaration. This was a nation that was built on with the belief of Messiah as a core. Now, we may not agree with everything they did. They did some horrible, terrible things. You know, we can only judge them based on their knowledge and their understanding. But even when the Constitution was written, it was said that this is a constitution for a godly people.
Yeah.
And it's not going to suit any other, and it is. But we have become an ungodly people, and that's why there's so much animosity on the left against the Constitution, because the Constitution is written for a godly people that believe, that have a core truth, that truth that does not waver to the right or to the left. Truth is not amiable. Truth is based on the instruction that's given to us from Moses, and then interpreted through our system of government and jurisprudence. But now we become a nation that has become so secular, and Europe even more than us. Way more than us.
Yeah.
And so our as part of this, our birth rates have declined, even here in America.
Yeah, I think we shared that a couple weeks ago when we were talking. I think it was the first time. I couldn't recollect where I saw it, what show it was, whether it was anyway. And they said that was the first. The last 4 years was the first time that our actual birth rate was overtaken by the actual amount of immigrants illegals coming across the border. So, yeah.
So what we just saw under the last 4 years has been going on in Europe for almost 20 years now. And so Europe is now at the point where you've got two different cultures that are living not even side by side, not even like let live and let live, which, you know, I guess is like the bare minimum you would hope for. Now it's becoming outright conflict.
Oh, yeah.
And the left, both in our country and in Europe, which is not spiritual, not religious. There's no concept of Bible and morality and ethics. This is where we get all the letters LGB and all the other things. This is where we get men can be women can be men, all that kind of stuff. This is so you've got two things. You've got the rise of Islam, and you've got the rise of secular left. Both are diametrically opposed to anything gospel, anything biblical. And what we don't realize is that the goals that were the goals for the last 1400 years are still the goals today. It is still the core of Islam to spread Islam, and to rule wherever their feet happen to be.
Yeah.
And in being naive, you can say maybe being Christians, but I'm not even sure it's that. But being naive, thinking, oh, well, you know, they're just people and they'll assimilate like everybody else. And, you know, yeah, they say that, but they don't really mean that. No, we got to take people at their word.
Yeah.
They mean it. And so I've seen video after video after video. I'm not even sure we can show on YouTube because some of this stuff is crazy.
Yeah, well, it's next level because I think whoever's watching locally can contest to this from other people across the nation. You know, New York City is the melting pot, right? So you can go to certain parts of the city and it's an Asian neighborhood or a Latino, you know, and some of these neighborhoods, you know, you go in there and a lot of people don't even speak English. They don't, right? They don't come to America. They start their own little, which we would get like Chinatown or a little, but that's on a small level. But like what you said with the Muslims, no, it's a whole different ball game.
Listen, I love the diversity.
Of New York. Come on, man.
I do all the
culture,
different foods and all the foods.
Yeah.
But in my mind, we're all Americans.
Yes, yeah.
Right? We're all part of the same culture, and we've got to get along. And yes, you know, cultures tend to conclave in their particular area. But when you have a culture whose intent it is to dominate.
Yeah, your culture's supposed to bring some flavor. It's not supposed to, right?
Flavor?
Flavor.
Yeah, no, it is. You're supposed to, the whole melting pot thing.
Yeah.
But that's not what's happening.
Nope.
That's not what's happening in Europe. That's not what's happening here. And we're watching it here in New York. If you've been watching the mayoral race, um, I am I
Yeah,
am
I
just
caught some snippets of that debate too,
I am
and
absolutely beside myself as to what the heck are we doing? Not only
yeah,
are we moving, so you've got two things. You've got the left, you've got the Marxist, socialist, communist thought, which the
hmm
cornerstone of communism is there is no God,
hmm
right? So that's why administrations prior are investigating churches and going after the conservatives and going after people of faith.
hmm
They don't want that.
yeah,
They want to change the Constitution because the Constitution's made for a godly people, and
hmm
it's not good for any other people. And now you see the combination, and you would think that these wouldn't be bedfellows, that you wouldn't have the Marxist left and the Islamic uh, representation together, because you would think, well, people of Islam, well, they're not into the LGBTQ. They don't
yeah,
do
true.
that. They're
They don't put
they're
up
not
with it.
about
Yeah,
homosexuality, and they're not going to put up with that. So yes,
mm,
so why are they together? Because they have a common enemy.
hmm
They got a common goal
hmm
to
hmm
remove and at some point they're going to turn on each other too, because no any nation divided against itself
yeah,
is going to fall.
yeah, and
But right now the arrow is pointed at us.
yeah, and just to go back a couple of steps, even the mission that Charlie Kirk had, right, going
Yeah,
to these colleges to try to nip this at the core, because that's where most of it's being taught, right, to our
yeah,
children, is at that college level. Oh, it starts in high school too, because that whole,
sure. Well,
but
I mean, now
especially at
now
that level.
it's not even hidden anymore. Just look at what
Yeah,
happened over the last 4 years.
yep,
How many libs of TikTok ever watched
hmm
that? And you see all the people who are teaching our children
hmm
and what they're teaching them, and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, you sent your kid off to school, and
yep,
you're thinking, oh, they're going to school like I went to school in the
to learn
70s, and
ABCs and
and
one, two,
yeah,
threes, and yeah,
and you send your kid to school. When he gets to school, your son, whose name is Josh,
hmm
and he gets to school and they call him Jan, and
hmm
they put a dress on him,
yep,
and they don't tell you.
nope,
And I'm not making this up.
yeah, no,
This is
yeah,
this has happened,
yeah.
and we're being
But
told
yet,
this is normal.
yeah, but yet you and me and anyone else from that generation 40 and up couldn't even go on a class trip to the library without a parent signature and a
Oh
consent
my
form
goodness!
and
You know
a
how many
right,
permission slips I tried to
right.
forge?
Remember that?
I tried to forge so many, because you couldn't
Yeah,
go anywhere without a permission
yeah,
slip.
yep.
So we can't. We've at some point, and I get it. We've got to be merciful and loving people, and we do.
hmm
There's no doubt that we do, but we can't be naive.
hmm
This is happening everywhere.
Yep.
This is Bible prophecy happening. This is iron and clay. That
hmm
is just it's not it doesn't mix,
hmm
and we're being forced to mix. So the last 4 years, that's what we were told. We were told, well, you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to
hmm
do that. And finally, now someone comes in, an administration or people come in and say, no, we're not going to do that. And now it's riots in the street, it's
Oh yeah.
protest, it's
Yep.
it's the military on the street. We are a nation
hmm
divided
I mean,
against
I don't
itself.
want to go down too many different rabbit holes, but even what they're doing to ICE and to these people that
Yeah,
are trying to do a
yeah,
job,
yeah. That's what I'm talking
these
about.
guys are sick, man.
That's what I'm talking
Threatening to
about.
kill their families, everything.
We're not just a nation. It's yes, it is the nation, but it's not just us. Have you been watching like Tommy Robinson? What's going on in Europe? What's going on in England?
Mhm.
You can be arrested. I
Oh,
don't
for
know. I
praying in
forgot.
your head?
Yeah, I forgot what the stats were. I don't want to give stats and let them be false, but maybe somebody can look this up as to how many people were arrested in London, in England, for tweets or texts or something online that somebody somewhere
Mhm,
found offensive. You could be arrested for that and sent to jail.
mhm.
You could be arrested for praying on the street, for bowing your head, for praying outside of an abortion clinic. Even if you're down the block from it, you bow your head, you start to, and they find out that you could be arrested.
Yeah.
My good, what in what
Yeah.
Darwinian sort
Yeah.
of 1986?
hmm
What?
Well, you see, even people that step up and try to stop a crime, once they interject, they're the ones that get arrested. Right?
We
Crazy.
we are living
Bizarro.
the bizarro world. I was just going to
Yeah.
say we're living in a world where good is called evil
And evil is good, Isaiah. Yep.
and evil is absolutely called good. And I saw a video with Dinesh D'Souza, and he was speaking to an imam. And again, I don't even know if I could put this stuff up because I don't want us to get dinged for us. I'm just going to
Mhm.
describe it. But I saw Dinesh D'Souza doing an interview. Dinesh D'Souza is a believer. He is you know we I'm sure we believe differently on a lot of things, but he believes in Mashiach. He believes in Messiah. Um, and he did this interview with an imam, and he was asking the imam, you know, why is it that so many in the Islamic world here in America vote for the left when you guys are pretty much conservative? And
Yeah.
the imam's response was, well, we know that if we vote for the left, it's going to tear the country apart. That
hmm
these people have no morals, no ethics. And we
Yeah.
know that the right does, but if we do, their morals and ethics eventually going to come against us too. So
hmm
we'll side. Well, for now.
hmm
So here's a
Yeah.
guy saying for now, and there's this principle in Islam called taqiyya,
Yeah.
and it's the rule in Islam that you can lie
hmm
if it
Yeah.
furthers
It's like,
Islam.
yeah.
You can lie. You can look
hmm
your enemy straight in the face and say, no,
hmm
no, if I'm the mayor, if I'm voted in as the mayor, I'm going to be the mayor for everybody. You're
hmm
allowed to do that and actually lie to
hmm
people, and it's not considered. It would not be considered "quote unquote" a sin.
hmm
Um, Obviously, for us, that's not the issue, right?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to lie. We're supposed to tell the truth. We're not supposed to
hmm
covet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not. It's not the same thing. So
Yeah.
we've got a coalition, not just here in America, but all around the world. But we're seeing it here in the last week or so in the mayoral race
hmm
here in America. But it's not just here. This has been going on in Dearborn, Michigan for like the last
Oh, yeah.
12, 13 years.
hmm
Saw a video of a pastor on Instagram who went to just a town meeting. It's in Dearborn, Michigan.
hmm
The council because the population is Somali. There's also Somali Muslims that are on the council. The mayor is a Somali Muslim, and they wanted to rename a street after someone who is a quote unquote, like we would name a street. I don't know, Martin Luther King,
hmm
right? Because he's considered by our
Yeah.
culture
I
as
think
a
almost every
pillar and a
big city
leader,
has a Martin Luther King
right?
Boulevard, right? Yeah.
But so they're naming their streets after Islamic people of renown. Except
hmm
this particular name of this street was someone who is absolutely in support of Hamas, of Hezbollah, of terrorism.
mm
And so it's town board meetings. Everybody gets a chance to go there. You get a chance to speak. You get a chance to, speak your mind. We have them at our own. We have our own civics meetings here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one guy steps up who happened to be a pastor, happened to be a Christian, still is a Dearborn, Michigan resident, has been for years and years and years and years, way before the change of the culture.
hmm
And he got up and he said, listen, this is probably not a good thing that we're naming streets after such and such. This is, we know that he supports X, Y, and Z. And that mayor
mm
ripped into him, and told him, leave. We want you to leave. There's no place.
Oh,
There's no
I
place
saw
for you
that. I
here. You
saw that.
saw
He was
that?
a young mayor. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he
I'm like,
actually,
again, I'm afraid to put this. I'm afraid to show you the video because
yeah.
I still don't know what's going to happen.
Well, it's just like in some councils, they'll even read from the Qumran, not Qumran, from the oh my gosh,
Quran.
Okay, the Quran. I said the Qumran, through the Dead Sea Scrolls,
And the
They read from
mixing of Sharia
Yeah.
into the culture.
But a lot of them won't read they won't read from the scriptures.
No.
But they'll read from there.
So you've got this Christian guy who's standing there saying it's probably not a good idea to name streets, and they're telling him to leave. We don't want you in here.
hmm
Go. This is an American city.
Yeah. Yep.
And you're telling an American citizen to get out of your town.
hmm
Boy,
Yeah,
we are living in a nation that's divided.
Yeah, and it was the whole thing was hypocritical. Yeah, if we can maybe in the notes we can, if we find the name of the video, people can watch. That was it's sad. It's sad because it's not just that. It's trending all over, right?
Yeah, it
It's
is.
trending all over the country.
I don't know if it's on YouTube. I'll try. I'll see if I can look it up. If I can, I'll put it in the description box below, and you guys can check it out. Just go online and put on um, Islamic mayor
Yeah, kicks out.
kicks out Christian minister,
Yeah,
and I'm sure it'll pop up. Definitely on Instagram. Definitely on X. It'll pop up.
hmm
So we've got a peace deal with the Islam. So imagine this. Let's do a little role reversal. Because again, I've been watching what's going on in Europe. It's coming to the point where there's not just going to be a cultural uprising, but it's becoming physical now.
mm-hmm.
So you can get arrested for praying on the streets of London, but you're allowed to go out and pray multiple times a day on the street in mass, 5 times a day while facing Mecca.
Mecca, yeah.
And the Europeans are starting to say, "Hey, wait a minute, this is not right. We just can't do. We can't have unfettered immigration. I know obviously immigration is the big thing in our. So what are we fighting over now? Like immigration, like you said, we're throwing rocks and ICE agents, so their lives are in jeopardy over. And I'm all for immigration. That's fine, but
the right way.
The right way, and we do need immigrants, especially if our birth rate is so low.
Yeah, and think about, I mean, and I know we're going many different ways, but imagine being an immigrant. I'm sorry, coming from another country, doing it legal, right?
Yeah.
You're doing all the right steps, and again, you can go and say, yeah, I think the process might be too long to get in, right? But they're still doing it the right way, and then you have people jumping ahead of you, just doing it the wrong way, and you're still. And that's why this isn't a pro-America thing, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, when they come in, you see them wearing their American shirt, their flag, they're proud. They did it right, and they assimilate. They're Americans, right? So I don't know. I'm sorry, I digress. But
no. Yeah, that's part of the conversation, which all goes back to if a nation's divided against itself. Eventually, it's going to fall. And go back in our history to slavery. The nation was divided against itself, and what happened? A civil war.
Yep.
And so I mean, I don't know what's coming. I hope nothing like that. But if we don't realize that, I think Europe's starting to realize it now. And even Trump, when he went to the UN, he blatantly called this out.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty cool speech.
Oh, that was a phenomenal speech.
I didn't just sitting there looking right at him as he's just like you should call right to their faces, right? He was just like,
he called them out. He says, "You're ruining your culture. You're destroying the European culture. You go to France, it's not France anymore. You go to London, it's not London anymore. You go to certain places and you expect London, and it's just you don't expect something else." And so
you don't want to hear the call to prayer to Mecca in the middle of.
We've got it here. There's communities here, even in the Bronx. There's a community very, very close to us, and I think it was already passed because there's a lot of Islamic immigrants that have come into this area that they wanted to put the call to prayer out at 5 o'clock in the morning. A lot of the people of the town said, "No, not at 5 o'clock in the morning. we don't want to hear that. Nor do we want to hear church bells."
Yeah.
At 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sure there's some churches out there that, because it used to be the call to mass or something, you'd hear the bells, but they don't do that, except now they do. I'm pretty sure the last time I spoke with them, they were about to pass it. So now if you live in that area, so what are you going to do eventually? You're going to move.
Yeah.
You'll be like, this isn't the area I grew up in, which is sad, because then that just divides us even more. So what do? You just move. As somebody just asked question. So what do? You just move away, and they're right. So this is nation against nation, or ethnicity against ethnicity. This is what Messiah said are part of the birth pangs that we're going through, and they're happening right in front of us. So so Europe and Germany, they import all of these people from from other nations, other cultures that have not assimilated, that are being paid for by the taxpayers of those nations, because they know their birth rate is so low, they're just not going to survive. So they're trying to import workers, hoping to mingle and become something cohesive, when instead it's become something in opposition to each other.
Mm-hmm.
The average birth rate amongst at least the European world, if it's 1.3 in Germany, I think it's something like 6.8 or 7.8 children in among the Islamic immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 20 years of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
20 more years of that, and it's not going to be Germany anymore. It's not going to be France anymore. It's not going to be England anymore.
Nope.
It's going to be 50, 60, 70% something else.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing is going to change. And unfortunately, I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because let's role reverse here for a second. Could you imagine if 10,000 people from Europe of Christian, Anglo-Saxon, and I'm not white, you're not white, we're mixed races, right? We're a little bit everything.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say Christian, Anglo-white people from Europe migrated to Turkey and decided to set up a community in Turkey of their own Christian thing, and not learn the language, not adhere, and want the people of Turkey to sponsor them. Do you think that would go over in Turkey, in the UAE, in Saudi Arabia, in Syria, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and the list goes on,
or
and
even
on and
just
on and on.
A woman, wearing Western garb, right? Walking in the streets,
Just there's something called I think it's called, it's not Faraday cage. There's a principle of trying to in a way to understand a principle. Sometimes what you have to do is to reverse it to its most extreme state to be able to understand it in a different context. And so this is a different context. So we see this going on in America. We see it going on all over Europe. Let's put this to its most extreme context. Could this go on in the reverse? What would happen? Nothing good.
Nope.
Nothing good. Because they don't want to lose their culture.
Oh no, definitely not.
But we have the Western culture, the believing culture. I mean, it used to be that Europe was a predominantly Christian continent. It's not anymore. I think it's like 42% claim to have some sort of Christian background, and of that, who knows, that are really trying to walk with the odds, probably even smaller than that. So we go from really the birthplace of the West of Christendom that changes the world. Now it is less than 40 or 42%. I think the number is 42% of people that at least identify with Christianity, which means even of the European peoples that are there, the majority are secular, and normally globalist and left, and now you have an influx of immigrants that are in opposition to even the minority religion that's there.
Yeah.
And this is just not good.
Are you gonna have enough time to show that video, the one with the different cities?
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize how much time went by. I mean, this has been
that was really quick, man.
Yeah, this is really quick. Let me see what I can.
Worth showing that video because
because people will look at this and say, "Oh, you guys are being bigots. You're being racist." No, I'm not. I'm not. I mean, I love him. I live in New York. Yeah. My goodness, I love going to Little Italy. I love going to Chinatown. I love going through eating all the different foods and the smells and the languages. Most people in New York are New Yorkers.
Yeah,
we get along with everybody, but if what is happening already in Europe, which is already starting to happen here, I went to Florida. Remember that big deal? Texas wanted to shut down that Islamic city that they were building.
Of the for Sharia, yeah.
It was all about
Sharia law,
Sharia. You
yeah.
had to be Muslim to be in it.
Mhm,
That's an exclusive. Imagine, a Christian community or a Sikh community said, oh, we can, or a Chinese community came in and said, look, we're only going to build a community and it's only going to be for Chinese and nobody else can be in it.
mhm.
People be screaming racism.
Oh, yeah.
Racism.
Yep.
You can't do that. You can't
Nope.
exclude people based on their color or their background.
Mhm.
And so I know Texas shut it down. Well, when we were in Florida for Mom's birthday,
Uh-huh.
we went out to that. What was that? I don't know, the place that we stayed. We all stayed together. The Airbnb.
Yeah, yeah.
We went out to the pool, and I'm looking over
Oh, the
across the pool.
community one?
Yeah, the community there. And I'm looking over across the field, and I see this huge dome, and bulldozers and all sorts of construction going on. And I looked it up. They were building a smaller version of what was going on in
On
Texas
Texas, wow.
right there in Florida.
Hmm.
And I saw it on the internet afterward because I saw it. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a church, because you can see
Mhm,
the crescent moon thing on top of the
mhm.
on top of the dome. Like, well,
Yep.
that's not a church. That's what is that actually? Found out later it was a community that they were building in the area where we had our Airbnb. And so
That was in, right outside of Kissimmee, right? I believe?
it was right outside of
Kissimmee?
Kissimmee.
Kissimmee?
So, what's the answer? Somebody asked the question. So what do we do? Do we just, like leave and go and form our own communities? Well, then we're no different,
Yeah.
then if we try to go, if we do that, how can we let anybody know about
Mhm.
who Messiah is through
Yeah,
our
I
living?
I think we need to be scattered about
I
and
think so.
because, right, we're not gonna hide our light, and I think that's how, because if we do it, like you said, if we, come and live in it's almost like a cult. It's very cultish, right? If we just all
Yeah,
wanna,
if we
you
become
know
a
and don't get me
monastery.
wrong, everyone loves community, right? I would love to have a garden where I can eat my own, stuff and have cows to milk,
Yeah,
but honestly, I don't think that's what we're called to do. I think we need to be a light in the middle of our communities, all scattered abroad, right?
I always had a problem initially with trying to understand Lot.
Mhm.
Because you read about Lot, it says he's a righteous man. His soul was grieved by all the unrighteousness that he saw. Obviously, it affected his kids. It affected
Mhm.
all of that. And so you ask yourself, so why did he stay in Sodom?
Mm.
Why did he
Why
stay
didn't he? Yeah.
there?
Why didn't he just? Yeah.
But then you find out he's a preacher of righteousness,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe because he had family and friends and other people that were there, that he was because my first thought was always like, why didn't he just get up and leave? Why go through all of that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yet now I have a very, very different perspective on him.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I don't want to pack up and leave. I want to stand my ground, and I want to be involved to the point that I can make some sort of influence, that
Mm-hmm.
I could be a light in darkness as much as I can. And maybe that will require
Yeah.
something of me. I hope it doesn't require, some physical pain. I hope it doesn't require my life. But if it does,
Mm-hmm.
how is it any different than any other believer of any other age? Look what's going on in Nigeria. We didn't even get into that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a chance to show any of the videos that we wanted. We had to show you videos of Nigeria. In Nigeria, 7,000 believers have been slaughtered in
Mm-hmm.
just the last few years.
Yep.
Like
Mainstream news doesn't talk
30,
about it.
40 congregations, churches have been burnt down in
Mm-hmm.
the last few years. This is, and if over the last 10 years, it's been like 100,000. So, and yet nobody's protesting.
Nope.
No
Nobody's
no
marching.
colleges, nobody's
Yeah.
marching, nobody's saying, free Nigeria. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
more people have died there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's
Yep.
saying
And like you
a
said, this
word.
isn't goes beyond doctrine. This is people who,
Yeah.
who love Messiah. Just
Yeah.
might not be where we're at, right?
Yep.
But
No.
but the news doesn't care because it's the narrative. They have a biblical narrative that connects them to the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but no one wants to hear about
Yep.
it. They don't care about it, and they don't want you to know about it.
And the enemy hates it.
Yep.
The
Yep.
enemy hates it. We didn't even get into uh the dragon and all that other stuff. We'll
Mhm.
talk about the movie
Oh,
the
the documentary.
yeah,
Yeah.
the documentary, Dinesh D'Souza. I want to see it. I haven't seen it. I only saw some of the introduction on it. Once I see it, maybe we'll do a review on that and take a look at that. Um, so what do we do? Do we just get up and pack up and go? At some point, just like Lot,
Mm-hmm.
Abba's going to move us out.
Yeah. Yep.
And when Abba does that, well, then Abba does that.
Yep. Yep. In his timing.
Yeah, in his timing. Until then, I mean, you got to make whatever economic decisions are right for you and for your family.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be cool to be in a community of believers, of course. But that's what our congregation's for. That's why we get together. That's why we got people from every borough. We got people coming from Staten Island, which is kind of like coming from a different country compared to where we are here in the Bronx. That's a long ride. It's longer to come from Staten Island than it is to come from New Jersey. And we got people from Staten Island. We got people from New Jersey. We got people from Connecticut. We got people from Brooklyn. We got people from Queens. We got people coming from all over the place, that come to fellowship. This is our community.
Forget Long Island.
Long Island.
You got Long Island.
You got to do with that gut. Long Island. So at this particular point, I mean, I haven't had the impulse to or the confirmation from Yah to say, yeah, just pack up and go. More so the confirmation to put your feet in the ground and stand strong. And because you read the 7 letters to the 7 churches with all the things that are going on in those assemblies, he never tells them to run.
Mm-hmm.
Never tells them to leave. He tells them, go back to your first love. I'm going to pull your candle out, endure tribulation. They're going to kill you, but don't give up. Mm-hmm. I know you got lots of names, but forget the name stuff. Just get back to what you're supposed to do. Stop following Baal. I mean, stop following Balaam and Jezebel and stop being naked, stop just all this, stop being lukewarm, all the things of all. And you know where those churches were, by the way? Turkey,
yeah, same
Turkey.
Region. Yep,
they're all from Turkey.
Yeah.
So I know a weird manner, maybe just sort of getting stuff off my chest, but this is we're living it. This is prophecy. It's happening right in front of us. There's much more to talk about. Let me see if I can get at least one of these. I want to put up
that one video.
Well, so this is just a. I'm not even going to play the video on this. I'm just going to put up the picture. So this is the gentleman who's running for mayor here, and I saw a video on. I was like 10 or 15 different cities in England right now that their mayorships have been taken over and their city councils have been taken over by people of Islamic background in England.
Mm-hmm.
In England, I just don't get that. So here's this thing for Mr. Mandami, and so here's the American flag, which is cool. All right, I get that, but right next to it, this Islamic flag, and I'm thinking, if I'm gonna, if I'm gonna run for office, if I was gonna run for office, having a Puerto Rican background, I'm not gonna put up the Puerto Rican flag, even though it's still part of America.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put up the American flag. If I'm an immigrant, or 3 generations ago my family came from Italy, and I'm running for office, I'm not gonna put up the Italian flag. I'm gonna put up the American flag.
Yeah.
That just shows me there's a mixture there.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it. We're seeing it in our Congress. We're seeing it. We're seeing it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're watching it. I don't know what's going to happen. We got to just keep our eyes open, be aware of what's going on. I know people are going to look at this. They're going to see this. Oh, this is such a, you guys are bigots. And listen, we're making observations.
Yeah.
We're just making observations. We're trying to sound the alarm, let people know. Hold on. We're living prophecy. It's happening right in front of us.
And we're not saying that some Muslims come to the knowledge of Yeshua. One of my favorite, I was just sharing with a brother, John Tabernacles, last week about I always forget his name, but he's part of the Messianic Alliance of Israel. It's like a music worship band, and the guy, he's Iranian. He's Iranian, right? I mean, so we're not saying that. Just to reiterate, just to piggyback on that, we're not being racist. We're not saying.
Oh man, right? I want to see people from the Arabic and Middle Eastern world to come back to faith in Messiah. Right? I want to see that.
That'd be awesome.
But that is a direct affront to that religion. That's a direct affront to them. But man, do I want to see that? Absolutely. I mean, look what they're doing to the believers in Syria. Yeah. The guy comes in who was a former ISIS, Al Qaeda guy that we set up as America, and now all of a sudden he's president. And what are they doing to all the believers there? They're killing them.
Yep.
So
it's crazy, man.
We're living it.
Yep.
We're definitely living it. We didn't get into half of the stuff I wanted to get into. Let me see if I can just pop this one thing up. I think these are just some believers from Nigeria. You know what, guys? Go online, look up what's going on in Nigeria. It will break your heart, and it dwarfs. This is a real trying to exterminate a people that's going on in Nigeria. And of course, you don't see any sort of videos about this. Let me pop this up here so you guys can see it. We'll leave this as the last video, and then we'll close from here.
We praise your name, Jesus, Lord, to protect us, to guide us, Lord, to see us through, to fight for us, to give us hope in the name of Jesus.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I get it, Yeah, are we a little bit different? Do we have some little bit different ideas? Yeah, I get it. I get it. These people are dying. Dying for faith in Messiah. Their place of fellowship just got burnt down. Just being in that room, there's a high probability that the people that burnt it down are going to come back and shoot everybody that's there. And yet, where are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think just we got to remember, like we said before, doctrinal wise, these people are willing to give their life.
Yeah.
Right. And just because, where we are, we honor the Sabbath, we honor Yah's commands, we do them the best we can. What will we do in a situation? Because, right, just because we follow Shabbat, if someone put a gun to your head, would you be willing to take that bullet? Right.
Yeah.
So
listen,
these are people of faith that are
we were there.
Yeah.
Right. So our journey has brought us deeper, but we were there. And so when I was there, was I any less? Did I love God, Yah, as I understand him now? And no, I didn't. I just didn't understand. And so, wow. We'll leave it on that note for tonight. Crazy stuff going on. We are living in prophecy. We'll get more into the road that they found, the thing that they found underneath the city of David. They found the actual road that leads to the pilgrimage road. We'll talk about that maybe next week. Got a video where Netanyahu is explicitly saying the two most important archaeological finds in history is the tablet that shows when Hezekiah's people met each other as they were digging a tunnel, and the most important archaeological find in all of human history, the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yep.
Out of
I heard it.
Benjamin Netanyahu's mouth.
I saw him say it.
I mean, I'd love to show it now, but we've already run out of time. Yeah. So we'll show it maybe next week. That's impressive.
Definitely.
That's impressive. All right, brother. I'll let you close this out.
I love you, man. Shabbat shalom. Looking forward to tomorrow, and I'm going to enjoy this Shabbat. I am tired today, bro. Getting old. But again, I think we're going to leave one quick note. The offering for Sophia for another week or so.
Oh, yeah. It's still open. If anybody wants to give an offering for Sophia, you can go to the LMC app. And it's on there. You can just, if you want to give $5, $10, whatever you can give, and we'll send that money out to her this upcoming
And from
week.
her two relatives, Gary, Brooke, Bobby, and Becky, all thank you guys so much, and they love you, and they're they really appreciate it. Those are all people who we fellowship with. That's their relative, Sophia. So they thank you guys and they love you. So just wanted to pass that along.
Amen.
All right, buddy. Shabbat shalom, man. Love you.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We sincerely appreciate it. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 10:30 for our Shabbat service. Got a neat message for you guys. In the meantime, guys, Shabbat shalom.